Welcome back, everybody, to the Card Chatter with Refractor Jones and Bobbles and Ballcards. Going to have another guest tonight. I let it slip away from me. Got days slipped away on time. Did not realize it was Thursday, and it's already after 8 p.m. So I messaged Refractor, and he said he was out on the road, so I grabbed a pinch hitter for him, but she is someone that I think folks may enjoy. She's wanted to do a podcast with me for, a couple years now?
4 years.
She asked me several years ago, and we never got it done. She pushes me and drives me to do the YouTube channel, and as well as other things, and she's never made a presence on the channel, either channel, and so she's going to fill in tonight.
I did a hockey opening.
Now we opened some silver packs or a box of Topps Chrome. You might have did hockey too.
I did hockey.
Yeah. But anyway, as we always like to start out, give a shout out to Mason and Mason's Mission. Kid's doing great things. It's awesome to see him trying to help other pediatric cancer patients, and it's cool to know that a young man that deals with a lot himself is putting others, and putting them first even before himself, knowing what he deals with and just knowing that he wants to help others out is just an amazing thing. So we always like to start it out with a shout out to him and have that to start off with the podcast. For everyone listening on the podcast side, I know you don't get to see that, but it's a wonderful thing, and we do appreciate all of you. So, all right. As I mentioned, I have Mrs. Bobbles here. I'm going to ask her some questions. I want to let it be known she does not know what questions I'm going to ask her. So this should be interesting. I don't know what the answers will be. I don't even have a list of questions, so we're just going to flow with this. But first and foremost, how about we start with a good one? Because many times you hear, especially the males in the hobby, talk about their wives, like, will kill them if they know they bought this or they bought that, or my wife would kill me if she knew I bought this box of cards or whatever. Tell people your take on all of that. Like, if I go buy cards, or better yet, if I don't buy cards, your feeling.
I get so mad when you don't buy the card. Because it doesn't make sense. Like, if you know that it's something that you want, or if you're at a store and you know it's something we would enjoy opening, or there's a card on eBay that you want and you don't buy it and you put it in your cart and it sits there, and then you have it in your cart for 3 or 4 days and somebody else buys it, and then you're ticked off because somebody bought it when you could have bought it.
So she's not wrong there. The eBay account is actually linked to her email address, so she sees like all the eBay transactions and everything, and then she can actually see, like, it'll email, I guess, sometimes, hey, did you forget this? It's in your cart. And she's like, why do you have stuff in the cart again that you haven't bought? And she's 100% spot on, because I am very guilty of that. I'll have a purchase in mind, I'll put it in my cart, and then I question myself. And winds up more times than not. If I put something in the cart, it's going to get purchased likely by somebody else. So I have to just go on and check out, because if I put it in the cart, I normally wind up losing it. So I'll just start with this. I wanted to do like a top maybe 3. Let's do like a top 3. What's your top 3 favorite things regarding the sports card hobby?
Do I have to do them in order?
You don't have to do them in any particular order.
So top 3. Actually, the main one for me is we started doing all of this together after going to our first minor league game together, and getting that bobblehead. And that kind of started. You've always done cards, but I never really got into everything until after that. And we've been into it and doing it together pretty much since then. So that's kind of number one for me. We bought some cards and stuff before, but it wasn't something that I was invested in the way that I am now, and I didn't enjoy it like I do now.
Yeah, I agree with that. That was early of 2017 when it was April, I believe, of 2017 when we went to that game. I was trying to think because I thought that
we had gone to the Fantastic Store and the card shop that's out there in Charlottesville,
yeah,
and got some cards, and we had opened them, and I had fun, but it wasn't something that we did regularly.
yeah.
After that, we really got.
So the bobblehead game and like meeting Victor and becoming a fan, essentially, and I've told this story before, but like I grew up loving baseball and then I hated baseball, and me and her stayed up all 7 games of the Cubs Indians World Series. And that kind of rekindled my love for baseball, and we were both into it, even though we didn't care who won. That series was a.
Nah, I kind of wanted the Cubs to win. I wasn't invested, but I did want them to win.
Well, I mean, yeah, sure, the Brizzo thing, and all that, but at the same time, either one who won, like, they both had a record they were trying to snap, and the history that was involved there, like, it got me so immersed in like watching that game and being like keeping up with it, and like it went so down to the wire and everything too. It was cool to see history, I guess, snapped at that point. But I think that also kind of like we both agreed at that point, hey, we need to find a team to root for, because at that point we didn't have a team that was our favorite.
Right.
And then that's when we found, our childhood growing up. Potomac Fitzner Stadium. It's a small minor league park. The Prince William Cannons were there. I mean, they used to be a minor league team for the Yankees and Pittsburgh Pirates. Barry Bonds played there. There's a lot of history with that old stadium, and I wasn't sure if it was even still there. And come to find out, the Potomac Nationals were there, and they were the minor league team of the Washington Nationals. So it all fit in. It was like a perfect fit. We could go to minor league games that were close by and cheap, but we could also root for the big league team and attend those games. And then, of course, the first game we went to, it was Fitzgiving, is what they called it, and they gave out a bobblehead that was Bryce Harper, who was half turkey, and she absolutely fell in love. I'll never forget the game. It was a doubleheader. It was cold as hell outside. The kids were with us. They stuck it out like troopers. But then there was a jersey auction. And because so many people left, I was able to get a Victor Robles game-used jersey for a very reasonable price. And then after the game, we got to meet him, and he signed the jersey and all of that, and the fireworks went off. And it was just an amazing time that kind of set the tone for everything. So that would be when you start, like, let's also express you collected things before, but never like sporting items. It was like Disney or
Harry Potter
movies. She has a big movie collection, but it was nothing like sports related. So I guess that was kind of what put the wheels in motion. And she was right, we did open beforehand, but she really wasn't involved with the collecting side or learning the hobby or anything like that. So, all right, so that's one. What else?
The other is literally just opening and collecting the cards and enjoying going on and seeing, okay, we need this, we want this, this would be cool to have. And when we have things that we don't want to keep, being able to sell those so that we can transfer it into something else that we want to keep. in the card shows. So kind of all of that together. And then the third one would be the friends that we make. The people that we
Those
get to be with.
those people are just no, just kidding.
No, most have become like family. James is definitely family. He's here all the time. I consider JJ and Refractor, and Damien was with us in the house. It was the first time I met him, but he's family now. Sean, like everyone.
Like
I'm missing names, but
there's so
you all
many
know.
names out there that she's right, like it's beyond friendships now. It's like we know so much beyond even cardboard about a lot of these people, and like you become they say the old saying, friends are the family that you get to choose, and it's never more true than the experience from the ride we've had. You know, I back in the day I did Reddit, and she would see the frustration sometimes because the people on there were just, I don't know. Sometimes some of the stuff or the trolls that were on Reddit were just ridiculous.
It was definitely a different breed of people that are over. There's a lot of keyboard warriors on Reddit. It seems like.
There was also some folks that like Mumbles. You know, he's stayed a friend the whole time. Travis down in Texas, you know, he texts me every so often. He stayed a friend the whole time. So there's some people on there that have transferred over to
Connor.
yeah, he wasn't on. I don't think he was on Reddit.
He was on Reddit. He would message you and stuff on Reddit.
Oh, before we had Instagram and everything.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I forgot about that. Damn, that was a long time ago. Anyway, yeah, I mean, there's folks that have came even from back then, that I don't know even like I don't even know what to say about it, because it's crazy to think like firing up a camera and a mic and, you know, not just sharing something I enjoy and that, you know, me and her enjoy together has gotten to this point. And then obviously she is a massive help behind the scenes on the group submissions and everything. She can vouch. When y'all first ask, the folks first ask about group subs, I said no.
And I said yes.
She talked me into it. So all of you that have ever submitted cards through our bulk submission, you can thank her, because I said no for the longest time. Well, it wasn't that long. She talked me into it, but she says I don't listen to her a lot, and I'm probably true, but she did get her way on this one. So, all right. So opening the game and the people. That's your top three.
Yes.
All right. I'm not gonna make you name three because I know the list is probably very long. What would be your least favorite thing in the hobby? I'm putting you on the spot here.
My least favorite thing?
Your least favorite thing in the hobby?
The backstabbing or talking about people behind their back. Sometimes it can be very middle schoolish. Like, and I don't get that. Like, you don't have to agree with me. I don't have to agree with you. We can disagree and still like each other and be civil. Like, that seems to be something that is, sometimes it gets very middle schooly, it feels like to me.
Yeah, and I'm not going to sit here and say I'm innocent of never doing that. I do talk privately to folks, and yeah, I probably get involved in some of it sometimes. I think it bothers you as much as it does because you know it bothers me when stuff happens, and because I'm the one that's like behind the camera or whatever, and usually I'm the one that's being talked about. But I also think that, in fairness, you know, that happens in a lot of spaces.
Oh, it's everywhere, but
Yeah.
that's the thing that I dislike the most.
Yeah. In a perfect world, it wouldn't happen anywhere, but
It
unfortunately,
happens at my job.
we are
Like, it happens
definitely
everywhere.
Yeah. So, all right. What has been your most favorite pull And everybody knows I've told everybody, I've shared your hits and all that stuff. What would be your personal most favorite pull you've ever had out of a pack?
It would either be the Tatis red wave out of 5. Because one, I was still early enough into it that I knew it was good, but I was just like, oh, this might be good. He might be excited that I pulled this, and I just set it aside for a minute and wasn't really sure that it was as good as I thought it was. It would be that, or saying that I was going to pull the clear cut Makar and then pulling it.
Okay, those are two good picks. And to explain what she means by the Tatis, so that was purchased in a box from the Chantilly show. We bought one single box of 2019 Topps Chrome and one single box of 2019 Topps Series 2 Baseball. She knew that I was pretty high on Tatis. I had been hunting him at shows, like at that show, and then the previous week we had been to a show, and I actually bought a 2019 Bowman Paper Red from that show. So she was familiar with Tatis. She was familiar that I was buying red. And she pulls this in her first pack. It was the second card, I believe.
It was. And I didn't know if it was so good because I knew everybody just wanted the regular colors and not the patterns. Not the
So she pulls this card and sets it beside her on the end table. And then, I don't know, I'm like probably halfway through my half of the box.
And he's real sad.
I think I hit, like, I said, oh, this is kind of cool. I think I hit an Eloy Jimenez rookie refractor. And then she's like, well, I got this, but I don't know if it's any good. And I'm just like, holy bleep, you know. I'm like shocked that she's handing me that card. And, this is before the boom and the pandemic and all this other stuff. So it wasn't a massive card at that time, but I knew pulling that out of an $89 box was pretty dang good. So the clear cut, though, it's funny you mention that one because that card has even a crazier tale. We wanted a case of Upper Deck Hockey. Blowout didn't have a full case. They didn't have a sealed case. They had I think it was 9 boxes.
Yes.
It was so 9 boxes was all we could get. We're driving home, and she's like, who should I be getting? What should I be getting? And, we were talking about the players in it, and she's like, well, I'm going to pull the clear-cut Cale Makar. And I'm like, okay, sure. Now, keep in mind, she's not too familiar with clear cuts because we hadn't opened a ton of hockey by then. I think we might have opened a box or two.
I still called them acetate, and then the hockey people got real mad at me.
Yeah, well, she, on the whole way home, she's sitting there saying she's going to pull it, and I'm just like, yeah, okay. Playing into it, Not only did she pull the clear-cut Cale Makar, but the pack, and I watched her when she opened the pack. The pack was a error pack, mistake pack. I don't even know what you call it. But the clear cut should have been in the middle of the pack. And she got excited as soon as she opened the pack up because the clear cut Makar was it was the bottom card of the pack. And those are supposed to be in the middle of the pack where the insert are.
It was an extra card in the pack.
Yeah, she got an insert and she got a clear cut on the bottom stack of the pack. So not only did she call the card that she was pulling, it was out of a pack that it honestly shouldn't have even been in. So very weird. And then to throw that up, she said in 2021 that she was going to pull the Lafreniere clear cut. Technically,
I did.
Technically, she did, but it was a Lafreniere checklist clear cut. And then in 21-22, she said she was going to pull the Cole Caulfield clear cut, and she pulled the Cole Caulfield clear cut. So A hell of a run when she's
I
yeah.
think I need another case of hockey.
Yeah, we haven't opened anything in a while, so but
Case of hockey?
it's always funny because she'll sit there and call what she's gonna pull sometimes, and it actually happens. So, all right, so those are your favorite pulls.
Yes.
What is, and this is gonna be a tricky question because I know you're not as familiar with everything
I'm not.
in the collection, but you know a lot of what we have. Name your top 3 favorite cards in our collection.
First Bowman Soto. Mainly because it took so long to get it and we should have had 20 of them. Okay, 2 of them are Soto, but it's the Soto card that has from the wild card game.
Which one? Because we have
The one
several.
with the base, the piece of the base or whatever in it.
Okay, that's back there.
Yeah. And then, oi, does it count? Like, I want to say the Victor card with you and the kids.
Wow. So the Soto First Bowman, the Soto base, and the Victor card?
Those I'm all like personally attached to. There's so many though. Like we have
Because, I
the
mean,
Babe
you
Ruth
personally
Galley
picked
and
the Ruth.
Yeah.
So I thought that would be like your top. And then probably like an Emmett Smith or something at number 2. Or
no, I love all of them. I'm so attached to that Nationals team because we met half of them. Mikey was on it. Like, if you throw in all of those, I love the run of Mikeys that we have. We still need the Super Refractor. Like, I don't know that I can pick just 3, but I would go with those 3.
I would put, like, I'm surprised the Soto isn't one of your most hated cards.
It's not hated. It's annoying because when they were $50, I told you to get them and you were penny pinching, and then we had to pay what we paid to get it.
Well, I mean,
Which
I
was
traded.
still, yeah.
I traded for it.
Yeah.
But, okay, that's interesting.
It's not. I would never hate it.
Okay, so you tossed out the Babe Ruth when I asked this question before, so I got that one checked off the list. If I was to ask you today a card that you would like for us to be able to get, what would it be? Realistically.
The other Babe Ruth that we have that you keep telling me is fake, and I refuse to believe it.
Oh, the Gowdy Ruth with him on the mound?
Yeah, I want that one.
Not what I expected you to say.
What'd you expect me to say?
I don't know, but I didn't expect that.
There's really so many. Like, there's not. That one sticks in my head because I was so excited and wanted it to be real so bad.
So, I already know this answer, but I want to see if you answer. Because, once again, folks, the answers she's giving, this is all, like, just off of I'm not rapid firing, but I'm just firing these questions at her. She has no clue what's coming next, so she has to just quick think and answer. So some of these answers that she's giving, I'm not even expecting to be the answer she's giving.
He's looking at me like I'm dumb when I give them.
What has been your most favorite card that we've ever submitted for grading?
Oy vey.
I would have expected this to be just shot out like a cannon.
Well, the Mick Jackie, the Mantles, like there's the Mick Jackie.
Okay, she got that one right because
I was having contemplation in my head going, do I say the Mick? Is it the Mick Jackies? Is it the fact that I had 2 Mantles? Is it?
I mean, it's just answering like what your favorite is, so that's why I'm like
I know, but it
doing
was
this
an inner
blindly
struggle
asking.
in my head.
Yeah, That I mean, let's be real. Having two Mickey Mantles, 252 tops Mickey Mantles, in your hands at one time is like a surreal feeling. But I don't know that anything will ever that supplant, however you like. It's planted at the top, so I don't think anything for me personally, especially since that coincidentally was a card that I had on my target list for that year. We did it for Bart, who's a great LCS owner. I tried my butt off to buy it off of him, and he did the right thing for himself. But yeah, that card has to be. I don't know that it'll ever be topped.
I regret not taking a picture with it.
Yeah.
At least you're on camera holding it.
I do. Yeah, I have a picture of it raw and graded as well. So, but like not of us holding it. All right. What is? This is probably going to be an easy question. What's your favorite sport to collect?
That's not really easy. Because baseball. Well, baseball is my favorite to collect. Hockey is my favorite to open.
Okay. So baseball is your favorite to collect, but hockey is your favorite to open.
Yes.
Okay. That makes a little bit of sense there. We do have a lot of fun.
Especially the medal.
Yeah, metal hockey was awesome. We didn't do hobby boxes because they were too much, but it's nice to be able, like, and I'm hoping the prices stay reasonable on it. It's nice to be able to, like, crack open a full hobby case of Upper Deck hockey cheaper than what, like, one box of Prism cost. Because then you got, several boxes you can sit down, crack it open. You have no clue what is in any of them. You know that you're getting 6 Young Guns per box at least, sometimes more. You have the chance for the high glosses or the exclusives. You have the clear cuts in there. And then you have the other, sometimes they're really cool inserts. They don't get a lot of love, but there is some cool inserts like the Dazzlers and stuff. Those are really cool. So yeah, I would agree. Hockey is really, really fun to sit down and bust open.
For that insert that never happened.
Yeah, she's very sour because the daylight night lights have never came out, and she was very excited for those. So, all right, trying to think of another question for you here. What's been the coolest card, and this is excluding the McJackie because we've had that in hand. What's been the coolest card you've seen at a show?
The Wagner.
The Wagner? She's thinking that I'm like baiting her into saying another answer. I really think
he's baiting me into saying something.
I'm not.
There's so many cards at a show. Like, if you count the National, I can't answer.
Yeah, I mean,
it has to be the Wagner because I'm never gonna actually be able to.
Hey! We have a Wagner right here.
Okay, that's faker than the Babe Ruth.
That is a very good Wagner.
Yeah, I would probably get like an 8. So it's fake.
You're never going to mention that he's in a tuxedo?
Yes, I love that he's in a tuxedo. It's cool. But I would have to say that because I'm never going to...
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm going to put myself in the doghouse for a minute. I'm going to let you critique me. Besides the Soto first Bowman, because that's a given, and I got that monkey off my back. What is the...
Don't ask me this, because there's so many cards that you...
What's the one card that you wish I had bought and never did, and what's the one card that you still can't believe I sold for as cheap as I did?
I don't have an answer for the second one.
Oh, okay. Then she's forgot about that, guys. I am off the hook because I thought for sure I knew the answer to that one.
What
All
did
right,
you
go
think
ahead.
it was?
Go ahead.
What did you think it was?
I thought you were gonna still hold the Boba Fett sale, the first Bowman Auto Boba Fett that I sold for like, what was it, $12 or
I
something like
can't
that.
hold that because we sold the what was that guy's name? I don't even remember him anymore. Does he even still play? He was on the Braves.
Oh, the Kevin Mytan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mytan. We sold that for like $3,500 and he's nowhere. So I can't hold the Bichette.
Yeah, but for the longest time, you always told me, we need to get these first Bowmans. You need to hold on to them. You need to be patient. And then you kept reminding me, look what you did. You sold the Boba Fett for like $12, and then, he went up and everything. And you were right, but I was at the
That was more
time.
just me messing with you, though.
At the time, I didn't. I wasn't keeping up with the prospects, and
which that still annoys the hell out of me, if we're being honest.
Well, prospecting right now is...
You can't prospect now, but we could then.
Yeah, then, that goes back. Soto was 2016 Bowman too, so,
yeah.
There was plenty of guys. Tatis.
Yep.
He was 2016 Bowman.
All
Vlad was 2016 Bowman. There was so many guys that, I was looking for, thought they had a decent career ahead of them, and I guess I didn't buy the first Bowmans. I was more of the rookie card guy than the prospect card guy, and I don't know.
That's another time he didn't listen.
Yeah, and there's also risk involved with that, and prospecting can be gambling a lot, because we've seen it. But you mentioned Mytan, that was a Bowman, and I had a good feeling on selling that card. I tried watching
him play.
Yeah, and I do that at games too. That's why when we go to the minor league games, everybody was high on Carter Keevan. I didn't think he was that impressive. I'm not a baseball scout, but if a guy's not oohing and awing me, dazzling, at the plate or in the field, and just doesn't look like he has that factor, then I'm gonna be skeptical of his, where he's ranked and everything. Victor is one that surprises me because he was very good. He was very good when we watched him in the minors. He just didn't transition to the majors very well.
He got that, and I realized that Harper is doing well for the Phillies and stuff now. I still got a bitter pill on my shoulder for him, but he got that Harper big hit.
He did get a little cocky. I know what's
best. He got way too cocky, way too fast, I think, is the problem. Still love him. Maybe he could turn some stuff around, but he did get... I think he got too cocky too fast.
Yeah.
I think that was the problem.
So, if... This is a tough question, but... What product, if you could buy any product coming up?
The cup.
She got that. Hey, that product is so delayed too.
What do you mean I got it? I want the cup.
Well, the cup is
so
not out yet.
Now.
That is this has been the most heartbreaking thing too, because that's 2020, 2021, the cup. And it's not even out yet. And I've been I was on Jason Robertson.
From jump.
Yeah, so early, and I never follow my gut. And here it was, I actually listened to myself and bought some of his stuff and everything, and was putting a collection of this guy together, and would have loved to have his future watches and his cup and all that. And, well, the product got delayed, and people figured out who he was. So now he's in his third year. So that's very, very sad. I would say, what is your favorite sports moment? But that's an obvious.
Wild card game.
Yeah, that's an obvious.
That was the best game. There was this we got to go for $20 a ticket because I downloaded some MasterCard app and they have discounts. And the wild card game was on there and I bought the tickets. And we were sitting right by third plate.
Third base.
Third base, not third plate. Right above the Brewers dugout, right next to Hader's mom. Like, it was the best seats, and it was such a roller coaster ride of a game, and I will never forget that feeling.
And we had some cool people sitting next to us, too.
We did. We're still friends with them. They're Caps fans, too. They're on our Instagram and everything. Got some cool pictures, had some good moments. The metro ride home was insane.
Yeah. I don't know how, like, I've never been that packed in. If you were claustrophobic, you were screwed. There was barely air to breathe on those trains on the ride home. But everybody was happy. Everybody was insanely happy. Yeah, like, it was a crazy experience. The parade, that was an insane experience. So yeah, I that was an easy question here. Anything that you would like to talk about? Because this was last minute. Again, I'm just firing from the hip, asking questions for things for you to talk about. Any questions for me? We can reverse it a little bit here for the people.
The people already know about you. I don't really have. I did not plan anything.
No, this was last minute. So, I went downstairs and I was like, "Hey, can you pinch hit for Refractor?" He said he's driving right now, and
literally had 10 minutes to get a drink together, get up here, and start. I'm just gonna lay it out so everybody hears it. I was like, case of hockey, and I'm gonna need all the Kraken cards.
Yes. So, for anyone out there who are a listener, so we obviously root for the Capitals because they're local.
And I love Ovi, the team. Yeah. It's great. They have a great relationship with the Nats, and it's awesome.
I've been following the Dallas Stars because of Jason Robertson and Jake Ottinger, and they have Tyler Seguin and Klingberg. I believe he's on a different team now. I'm a bad fan, but Klingberg was there. Heiskanen, like, they have a great team, and so I followed along with them. But then she became a Kraken fan, a Seattle Kraken fan, because the colors, the mascot, and because they're the Kraken. So I actually bought her the first, 4 bobbleheads that Foco Forever Collectibles put out. So she has Kraken bobbleheads now. But there hasn't been any cards, and I guess because of the delays and everything, so she's been very excited and patiently waiting for there to be some Kraken cards. So I know she'll be happy to start pulling those once they are in product that we have opened. I believe there was some vet players in Series 2, but we didn't open any Series 2.
I know, don't look at me, because that was against my will.
We did not open any Series 2, so...
It was against my will. It was the first... Since we started opening hockey, that was the first...
I don't remember
series
why
that we didn't open a case.
Was it because Series 1 and 2 released so quickly? I can't... There was a reason, and I can't remember why. But anyway.
You can still make up for it. I'm just saying.
Anyway, I hope everybody out there, I hope you all have a wonderful Friday. I want to say thank you again to the missus for stepping up to the plate, pinch hitting for Refractor. Refractor, sir, do miss you. I know you've had a lot going on. This tonight was on me. I keep forgetting that it's Thursdays. And then the time creeps up on me, and I'm like, oh crap, I got to get this done. So this was my fault. I take full responsibility of this. Everybody can put in the chat. F's in the chat to Bobbles. He failed on this one. But luckily I had someone to fill in, and I hope you guys enjoy the conversation, getting to know a little bit more about Mrs. Bobbles and her dabble in the hobby, or enjoyment of the hobby, so to speak. So thank you, and thank you to all the listeners out there. You got to tell them thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Y'all have a wonderful Friday.